Hi, welcome to the video diary again. It's Friday. Thank Crunchy it's Friday, as the saying goes. So yeah, it's been a busy day. I've sort of been held up a little bit with a few calls, but that's the way it goes. Started the track this morning after a meeting last night, and all good. Everything went well. A few little lameness issues to deal with before the weekend. It's always the way, and you got horses running, you get little niggles heading into it. So they're all sorted. They're all good. We're happy with that. Then went and saw a really interesting case. It's a Clydesdale that a client has bought, and it's come with a bit of a poor history, unfortunately. Probably a little bit very neglected, and had chronic lesions on its pasterns, all four legs. So we unfortunately had to spend an hour and a half clipping its feathers off to try and get there's a lot of wounds there. So we had to get rid of all the hair, clean that up, and yeah, hopefully now if we can get access to all the wounds and you can see the extent of them. There's been a lot of chronic new skin growth and it's very inflamed, so we'll let it dry off for a couple of days and we'll start dealing with it, and hopefully we don't have to put on systemic treatment, but we may well end up having to do that. Then yeah, just a couple of other lameness issues, just poor performance in a couple of horses that we had a look at and we followed through and sorted out, so fingers crossed they go well. Last night's meeting was really interesting. It was a meeting on managed rehab and training of horses after injury. Some interesting things raised, and it sort of raised a few questions in my mind, and I think you've got to always question what you do. If we don't question what we do, we're never going to learn and we're never going to improve. And I think it's interesting to sort of try and work out why horses get injuries, what things are causing horses injuries, and we have to look back at the injuries we've had in different horses, different clients' horses, and try and work out is there a common denominator of why these horses are getting these certain conditions. There's a beautiful study done in the UK about dressage horses, and sand-based arenas was the big thing that horses spend a lot of time in sand-based arenas, had a high incidence of proximal suspensory disease in the hind leg. So it was interesting. So we're always challenging ourselves of if we can improve things. We're you never get 100% recovery rate from tendon ligament injury, so it's really important to try and see if we can get that a little bit further, and it's always hard to get the last 1 or 2%. We're pretty comfortable with our superficial digital flexor tendons, and we've got really good results. We're sort of getting 90-95% back to the racetrack for 5 starts or more, so that's really good. Venters are good as well, that we get a good response with those. So yeah, the take home, a lot of talk about postural management of horses and trying to see if we can improve the posture of horses. So that's their abdominal muscles and their back muscles. Can that improve the outcome post-injury, and can we work on that when they're recovering? So it's an interesting concept of trying to cross over from the human field into the equine field to see if we can manage the horses better post-injury, and if we can try and break down why we get those injuries and what can we do to stop them happening again. So very interesting. Have a great weekend. A little bit of rain forecast for Melbourne, which is not a good thing, but that's all right. Should be fine. Nice beautiful day. So have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.